And here we are once again. Some things happened since we last spoke. There was a ball game of sorts, apparently.
Yeah, the sports ball fandom was definitely in a tizzy over the weekend.
Yeah, they were.
And they've merged with the Swifties.
Yeah, I'm just... They did the game like around like an Usher concert. And I was like, yeah, this is a really good concert. What else is going on around here? I couldn't really put it together, though.
Also, is it just me or does Lil Jon look more like Chris Maine every day?
That's definitely an inside joke. I had never put that together.
Yeah, that's a deep cut. Madeira, in the off chance you're listening to this, shout out to you, man.
Yeah, that hadn't come to mind.
What if, so this is a friend of ours, clearly. What if this is like the only time he ever listened to an episode of this?
And he hears
like his name dropped in the first minute. He's going to have to go back and listen to all of them and be like, how many times have they mentioned me?
That's true. For all you know, he could be like a deep cut reference that we always use.
Yeah, recurring thing.
Yeah, recurring theme. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, like they have like on Suits, they have one of the lawyer's secretary is never in the show at all. They just talk about her all the time, and then they have an episode where she dies, but she's like never visibly seen on the...
That's pretty great, actually.
Yeah, we need a character like that.
Yeah, we do. Well, I mean, Brennan is kind of something like that.
That's true. That's true, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked to know that he just like, when we message him, he just like comes out of a coffin like the fucking Undertaker. And
yeah. I was going to say Nosferatu, but I mean...
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
I am very happy to have I use this term lightly, serious episode of this podcast. I feel like I haven't had a serious episode of a podcast in a very long time. You know, it just... Because we reviewed, if you haven't heard it, and I hope you haven't, we reviewed Dune 1984 just a few days ago.
All right, reviewed is a very, I don't know if that's the right word to use.
We watched Dune 1984, and then we came into this room and talked.
Yeah. And some of those words were about Dune 84.
Yeah.
Man, that's true. Like, what were you on before Dune?
Dune.
Fuck. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true, yeah.
And then before that, it was the Homies.
The Homies,
Awards.
yeah.
And then before that, it was the Star Wars Holiday Special.
Holy shit, yeah.
So it's been a minute.
Yeah, that it has. I mean,
since I just kind of got to come on here and talk about nerd stuff.
Yeah,
but in terms of that, going back to the sports ball fandom, it is weird to me how many of them are so upset that Taylor Swift has invaded their fandom, or at least that it's weird to me that they look at it like that. Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you now, when I found out that Henry Cavill was a huge Sanderson fan, I was not mad about it at all. And if I found out that Taylor Swift was like a huge whatever I like fan, let's just say she happens to be really into Lord of the Rings, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd be very happy about that. Now, if she turned out to be really into Rings of Power, okay, that would be a different thing. But like, there's no, there's. I don't understand why, like, someone bringing hundreds of thousands of people into your fandom, that's fucking gatekeeping, and not in remotely a good way.
Yeah, I would say 9 times out of 10, gatekeeping is bad. One of those motherfucking gates should always kind of be cracked a little bit, where you could close that motherfucker if you need to, though.
Yes.
I have no dog in this race, like the football frenzy fans versus the Swifties. The only thing I can say would be like, if they're upset because every 90 seconds or whatever they cut to Taylor Swift, okay, then I can see how that would get a little aggravating. Like, it's cool that Henry Cavill is a fan of Sanderson's work, but if there was like a random picture of him every so many pages, some people might like that, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you don't have to sell me on it. Jeez.
Bad example.
It'd be so much easier for me to get people into these books. I'd be like, listen, there's a different picture of Henry Cavill every 5 pages. They're like, wow, that's amazing.
Holy shit. But, I do think that some people are just too bent out of shape about it. Listen, especially if you like the NFL, you definitely want this because it's bringing in so much more eyes and revenue.
It's estimated that prior to the Super Bowl, that she had made about $340 million for the NFL.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. And, I mean, she is definitely to thank for this being the most watched Super Bowl ever, so. But, the odds are you didn't come here to hear about Super Bowl nonsense. You probably came here to hear us talk about something that happened during the Super Bowl but was unrelated.
Yes.
But before we get to that,
breaking news. This just in. You're listening to the cosmic, world-breaking, magnificent, multiversal, mega-talented news anchors, the superhero homies. And this is Comic News. That's right.
that was insanely well timed. That was insanely well timed. We didn't plan that at all. But I want you to know that I have brought something today for you. A challenge. You are going to play the guessing game.
Oh. All right, then.
You have 15 questions and 3 guesses.
Okay. All right. It's in the parameters, not a question here. Is this within the realms of like superhero?
So this is a main show. Okay. It's not a Patreon, so I felt like I had to keep it in the basket.
All right. Cool. Okay. Is this a DC character?
No.
Okay. Is this a Marvel character?
Yes. Very, very clever of you to. That's always worth the second question, Baron. Get hit with some Dark Horse nonsense. Right.
Like fucking Spawn.
It'd be like a minor character in Spawn.
Yeah.
That fucking clown or whatever.
Yeah, the Violator? Fucking hell. All right. Is this character widely considered a hero?
Yes.
Is this character mostly considered? Is this character mostly considered a main character in their series or movie?
No.
Okay. Is the character male?
No.
Okay.
That's 5. You got 10 left. I have faith.
All right. Has the character been in a live action movie?
Yes.
Is the movie in the MCU?
No. So I will clarify that, and because that is a very gray area now. The movie was not produced by Marvel Studios.
There we go. Yeah.
Because what isn't in the fucking MCU? Yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and fucking Inhumans.
No, it is. I mean, kind of. No. It doesn't have to. They just got the same guy that played.
If they canonize Inhumans and not Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm going down there. That's 7. You got 8 left.
Okay. All right, so let's see. It was not produced by the MCU. Was this movie released in the 2000s?
You mean was it released after 1999?
Yes. All right. Just got to narrow it down. Just 24 years. It's easy.
The 24 years where more superhero movies came out than the 2000 before.
Right. All right. Let's see. Marvel. Does this character have superpowers?
Yes.
Okay. Looking at my fingers like I had to look at my fingers like how many questions I got left?
You have 6 left.
Yeah. Damn it! I just had a good question. I forgot it. All right. Let's see. It's the character a part of a team or ensemble.
I would say yes. I would say that's fair to say.
Okay. All right.
So you got 5 left.
Yep.
I'm gonna change that last answer to a definitive yes.
Okay. Is the character a mutant?
Yes.
That does not narrow it down at all.
You have 4 left. 3 guesses.
It's the character. It's the character. It's the character Cyclops, Wolverine.
Well, they're both males, as far as I'm aware. So
You said the character was male, right?
no, I said no. The answer to that was no.
Oh, I thought I asked if it was okay. Yeah, yeah, you're right. A good thing I got that clarification.
Right?
Yeah.
Before you burned any guesses.
Right.
I would have looked at you like, is he fucking serious?
Okay.
So no, they are not a male.
And you said yes to mutant.
Yep.
Still, that's not so many goddamn mutants.
Yep.
All right. Has the character been in a Deadpool movie?
No. I don't think so anyway.
Okay.
If they have, it is a very fucking
Yeah.
like blink and you miss it. Nobody ever mentioned it to me thing.
Is that 4 more?
No, you have 3 more.
3 more. All right. Superpowers, mutant, not produced by the MCU, 2000s.
Titties.
Titty. And and the character has titties.
Yeah.
All right. Part of an ensemble. God, I feel like this is a dumb question, but fuck it, YOLO. Is the character part of the X-Men?
Yes.
I mean, I kind of had that figure, but just needed clarification.
I'll even throw in that it's not the only team they've ever been a part of, at least in the comics. But
Okay.
yeah. So you have 2 questions left and all 3 of your guesses.
To your knowledge or recollection, was the character ever in the X-Men animated series TV show?
It has been a long time since I watched that.
A real long time ago?
A real long time ago.
Back in 97?
Back in 97. Actually, and also back in 94.
Back in 94. Yeah, that's when it started, right?
Yeah, so 1 second, because yes, they are in X-Men animated series, but the fact that I had to look it up real quick might be a decent clue as well. You have 1 question left, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And you said the character is I'm pretty sure I asked this question. The character is a good aligned.
Yeah. Superhero, I think.
Yeah. All right, so that throws out Emma. I'm gonna throw out Mystique. I'm gonna. Let's see. He had to think about it, so I'm gonna throw out Jubilee.
It's so good to be on this side of this game. I love it.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to throwing out Jean Grey, throwing out Storm, throwing out Rogue, throwing out Rogue's ass.
This man tossing out more heroin than Pfizer.
Okay, I still got one question left.
You do. Can you feel the tension, ladies and gentlemen?
All right. Fuck it. It's worth burning it for a guess. I'm gonna put my one question to the side and burn a guess real quick.
Okay.
Just throwing it out here, testing the waters. Is it Psylocke?
It is not Psylocke.
Okay.
Good guess, though.
Oh, thank you.
Meets all the criteria, I believe.
All right.
We're just going to ASMR the whole rest of this. Not really. I feel like that would get very annoying.
We're going to NPR the rest of this segment. All right. Shit.
One question, two guesses.
One question and two guesses. Does this character share any close association with Wolverine?
You know, I don't. I am going to say, not knowing the full comics history of this character, I'm going to say no. But I will give you that, since this is your last question, I will give you that I don't believe they interact with Wolverine at all in the movie that they are in.
All right. All right.
Or it could be movies. They're not in any more than two.
Okay.
So. But that's it. All you have is your two guesses left.
That's my two guesses.
And I will allow you to burn one of those sweet, precious guesses for another question.
I'm going to guess one more, then I'm going to burn the last one.
Okay. Well, you might as well go all into that
point. Right. Okay. Not a main character. Part of the X-Men. So, good person. So, the feminine variety. Superpowers. Let's see. Vaguely in the animated series, and at least one movie, maybe two or more.
Definitely no more than two.
Definitely no more than two. Okay, yeah.
Definitely one, possibly
definitely
two.
Possibly two.
My memory could be a little hazy on whether they were in two movies, but they were definitely in one movie.
All right. And it is not Psylocke.
Nope.
Okay. There's definitely somebody else that fits that goddamn criteria. And I'm going to be mad if I don't get it. All right. Homies, you can help me out here.
Just phone in.
Just phone.
You have two guesses left, right?
Yep. I still got two guesses. All right. Let's see.
So I'll tell you what.
Yep.
If you burn your, if you after you spend your second guess, I will give you a hint before you spend your third one.
All right.
If you need it, if you don't get it.
Let's see. Okay. So I'm just going through the Rolodex right now.
Which is not a small Rolodex.
It is not a small Rolodex at all. Man, see, I would guess Jubilee because she's only been in one, possibly two X-Men movies. But she was definitely a part of, she's in like episode 1 of the animated series.
Yeah.
So it's not.
I wouldn't have had to look that up.
Yeah. So it's not Jubes. And also, she's closely related with Wolverine.
Yeah.
At least in the animated show. Not Emma. I already said Emma.
And I think Emma's definitely in more than 2 movies, yeah?
Yeah, she is. She's in like 3. I don't know if any of them are good.
I don't think First Class is good. So.
No, I mean, it's got some moments.
It's okay.
Yeah. She was also in Wolverine Origins. People forget about that one.
The first like 10 minutes of that movie is great.
Oh, yeah. Made by someone else completely, had to be. All right, this is part where I look around at the shelves, try to see if I can gather any inspiration.
That is what happens here.
All right, let's see. Can't be X-23.
No, I think X-23 is slightly, involved with Wolverine.
Yeah,
I feel like there's.
This is true from a certain point of view. All right, I'm gonna throw out a second guess here.
All right,
I'm gonna say. It's on the tip of my brain. It's right there.
All right.
So here we go. Y'all ready for this?
I'm ready.
This shit's gonna blow your mind when I correctly guess. All right, Caleb's character. All right.
Okay.
It's like I have superpowers if you think about it, because I'm like reading your mind right now.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like the Dave Chappelle version of Miss Cleo?
Yeah. The character is Magic, Ileana Rasputin.
Oh, it is not.
Oh.
Although that is a great guess because I love Anya Taylor-Joy.
Damn it.
So I'm going to give you your hint.
All right.
And I feel like this is going to give it to you. But if the internet is to be believed, then this character is related to our subject material tonight.
Well, I do hate the internet.
And they have to be believed. Oh.
Related to what the fuck?
I think it's amazing that didn't immediately give it to you.
Yeah, that triggers nothing. Holy shit.
That's good.
All right. Oh man. Okay, so it's not Lady Deadpool. I would be uber pissed.
I wouldn't do that to you. Yeah. And also, who considers Deadpool to be a good character? Okay. Yeah. Does he though?
I think at times he considers himself to be a good character and a mutant, and he's like neither.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so it's not Jessica Jones. Back to the drawing board. Who the fuck is supposedly related to Deadpool?
Well,
you mean I mean, associated.
I mean that this character is in has something to do with our subject material tonight, if the internet is to be believed.
Cassandra Nova. No, take it back. She's definitely a fucking villain. Nope. Take back. I did not hit submit.
That's a very that was a very definitive.
It was, yeah.
I love this. I'm eating this up.
Oh shit! It's not Domino.
I don't know. Is that your guess?
Fuck it. I love Zazie Beetz. We'll go with Domino. Final answer.
That is incorrect.
Oh.
The character is the Dazzler.
Fucking Dazzler.
Dazzler is the character.
God damn it.
And the rumor is that Taylor Swift will play Dazzler in Deadpool and Wolverine. That is widely rumored on the internet.
Oh, no wonder I didn't hear about that. I don't give a shit about that on any goddamn level.
And Dazzler was in Apocalypse.
She was in Apocalypse.
Yep.
Yep. Yes, she was. God damn it. Good one.
Yep.
Good one. You are the first one to stump me.
I know. I was sitting there on pins and needles for the last guest, just like, am I going to get him?
You fucking got me.
I'm going to get him.
God damn it.
Thanks, Taylor.
Shit. Should have been a Swiftie.
Oh, yeah. Yep. So that's the heavy rumor, is that she's going to play Dazzler in Deadpool 3. Now, who knows whether it's true or not.
Yeah. It's interesting. I always thought that Lady Gaga would make a good Dazzler. Like if we had to get a musician.
You didn't think like she would be like the perfect Harley Quinn.
No.
That never crossed your mind?
That would never cross my mind. Nope. I didn't have that on my bingo list.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think we shouldn't blue balls them anymore.
I think you're right.
You came here to hear us talk about the Deadpool and Wolverine trailer, which is officially now titled Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's start there, man. What do you think about the title?
I think that it is simple, bold, and very effective.
I agree. When I saw it pop up, I was like, someone at Disney still knows what the fuck. And they're in the marketing department. Or Ryan Reynolds.
Very possibly the latter.
Yeah.
Very possibly the latter. Man, from this trailer, I mean, you can tell that this is still very much a Deadpool movie. I mean, obviously because it's Deadpool in it, but I mean, it still feels like Deadpool, but it just has all the flavorings of like MCU type stuff.
And I think this is what people really wanted. Mm-hmm. Like, I think everyone was worried that, like, I think what everybody wanted was like, what if we got a Deadpool movie with just a fuck all budget?
Yeah.
In the MCU. Mm-hmm. And that's what everybody really wanted. And then everyone was like, well, what if we just get a generic MCU whatever with Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
And I think we're going to get the first one based on this trailer.
Oh, yeah. And I got to wonder, like, how much of this shit did... Because I know that they got the movie cleared to be rated R, and so that clears a lot of stuff right off the bat, but how much of this shit did he still have to specifically get approved?
How many little kids were watching this during the Super Bowl and went, Mommy, what's pegging?
Right.
Which, by the way, that line was genius.
It was. That shit was immaculate. There was so much in this trailer to break down. First of all, I hadn't seen Deadpool 2 since like maybe 2020.
Right.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
It's been a while for me.
Yeah. And so I was like, why and how is his girlfriend still alive? Because I've forgotten that, it's in like the post-credit scene, or like at the very end of the movie, like he goes fucking back in time or whatever and brings her back.
Which it makes sense why the TVA would be after him.
Yeah.
It's actually really genius that they went that route.
Yeah. And I mean, that would make sense, right? But wouldn't they also, if that were the case, when they prune his girlfriend since she's an anomaly?
And maybe that's what they're going to threaten him with. Like,
Could
hey, you got to do this for us. Or we're going to kill all your friends that you went and saved. Because, what's his name? Steve or...
Yeah,
the guy with the superpowers? Yeah, he died. And he's back. And then Shatterstar also died.
Shatterstar did die, and he's back. Yeah.
It was odd that Domino was not present, or Cable. So
yeah.
I wonder if they're going to be in the movie.
I don't know, man. Do you think... I mean, they've kept a lot of this under wraps so far, except for, like, Wolverine.
Right.
But, like, I don't know. Do you think they can keep Josh Brolin, like, a secret?
I mean, I'm fine if he's not in it.
Yeah.
Like, we don't gotta have Cable for this. And if he is in it, like, here's the thing, man, is like, we can sit here and go, we want to see this person, we want to see that person. Let's do that in other properties. Mm-hmm. Like, this movie needs to be about what the title says. Yeah. Anybody other than Tom Holland that shows up in this film is going to be a cameo.
Yep.
And then forgotten. It'll be, such and such was in the Deadpool Wolverine movie. Mm-hmm. And that's it.
And I think that is very important to expound upon, because people need to understand that, like, this really is going to be all about, like, cameos. There's going to be a lot of cameos in this movie. You know, so for example, in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, like, you know, the Illuminati, they were there for like an extended cameo. You know, it's kind of what it was. Like, don't expect any of these auxiliary characters to be in it much longer than that, you know?
Right.
And I think a lot of them are going to be like kind of blink and you miss it type deals.
Yeah. I also love how they showed us a lot in this little teaser and showed us nothing at the same time.
Yeah.
I mean, the only big reveals we got, other than a couple of characters being brought back to life, you know, was we got Pyro. Which was wild.
Right. Yeah, yeah. Him, I didn't even notice until like the second or third watch, you know.
Yeah, because he doesn't look anything like last time we saw him.
Oh,
he was a
yeah.
kid.
Yeah. And that was like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not going to be the main villain.
No.
Like, I really think that the main villain of this, like, in Deadpool 1 and 2, the main villain was like an insanely minor villain. And it worked for those movies. Whereas for this one, though...
Unless you want to count Cable as, like, the bad guy for Deadpool 2.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree. But, like, with Deadpool 3, though, I do think that they need a more formidable villain.
Yeah. I mean, so that's why, like, I so confidently blurted out Cassandra Nova earlier.
Yeah.
And, you know, the reason I stopped myself, well, that's clearly a fucking villain.
Is it rumored that she's the villain in this?
Yeah, and I think we see her. I'm very confident that we see her.
Okay.
Like the shot of the bald person, we see them from behind. I mean, if that's not her, then because the head looked more like a woman's head. And yeah, I think that that's going to be our big bad, the biological twin sister Professor X. I think that'd be it'd be definitely interesting. We've heard rumors about this for a while now. Random bald person sitting there. I'm not saying that it confirms anything, but man, it certainly looks, walks, and talks like a duck.
Well, since we're here, why don't you tell us a little bit about her? Because I'm imagining that the casual audience probably doesn't know a lot.
Yes. So, I mean, fucking strap in. This is a Grant Morrison creation.
Oh, jeez. Look, anyway, so we're going to see Madam Web tomorrow, and
So, okay, I'll give you guys the fucking elevator pitch on Cassandra Nova as best I can.
give me the John Peters pitch. No.
All right. Most people may think of Professor X as a only child. He is not. In the womb, he actually had a twin sister. And they were both, even then, had extreme potentials for like telepathic or psionic capabilities. And there's no way to mince words about this. Charles strangled Cassandra with an umbilical cord in the womb, and so she dies. And Charles is born because they were fighting for supremacy, basically, within the womb. And but her, as we know, we've seen it even in X3, the transference of consciousness type deal that these telepaths have, like Professor X. That's essentially what Cassandra Nova is able to do, and she reconstitutes a body for herself. And long story short, she has a real hate boner for her brother. She's one of the most vile villains ever created. She kills more mutants than anyone else in Marvel Comics. She destroys the mutant nation of Genosha, which is where Magneto had like his kind of mutant refugee place. She has all the power, basically all the powers of Charles, except maybe more, I would argue. At least she shows more. Yeah, she is a small person, or smaller in stature, I should say. Bald, very evil. She's bald. By the way, I'm tired of the notion that Hollywood subliminally puts out there that bald people are evil. All right, bald people are not always the bad guys. All right.
I mean, Patrick Stewart is,
that's true.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Professor X does some shady shit sometimes, though. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, so does Picard. But
Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, I would say they're both good guys.
Yeah, yeah. It's just more times than not, if there's a bald person, that motherfucker's gonna be the bad guy.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, they don't like it.
They don't, man. Yeah, and I think it is. I think it's a little fucked up.
I blame Lex Luthor though.
He did kind of set the standard.
Yeah, I think he started that shit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Deadpool is also bald, you know. So
not in this movie.
Not for like the first 5 seconds.
That fucking damn Jason Stackhouse wig that he's
Holy
got on.
Shit, that they found like the most ridiculous wig they could within reason. Yeah. That shit was great.
It was so off-putting.
And I love that the TVA agent bothered to rip that shit off his head.
Yes. I also we have to talk about the elephant in the room here, the Secret Wars comic in the last shot.
Yes.
Yeah. Do we think based off of that, is it just a mindless Easter egg, or is this going to be like the first kind of descent into Secret Wars that we have?
I think that was placed deliberately. I don't think it's just random.
I mean, I think it's placed deliberately, but I guess what I'm asking is, do you think it's just a hey, by the way, this is coming, or do you think that this movie will start to leave some breadcrumbs to lead us there? So far, the only thing we have in universe is Doctor Strange going off to handle that incursion at the end of Doctor Strange's mom.
I'll say this, and man, maybe this is me trying to give Marvel ideas more so than what I think is going to happen, but I think that this will lead more into what we're going to get, and I think that even with that, even in the the Marvels. Like, maybe that is a universe that is called in for, or, where Monica ends up.
Yeah.
Maybe that is a universe that is called in for this secret war, So maybe they're drawing in different heroes from different parts of the multiverse to come together, to converge. And I mean, hell, at this point, that's about the only way to get Monica back into the correct universe.
Right. Maybe we can write some dialogue for her next time.
That'd be nice, yeah. Let's get us some fucking lines.
She'd be like, I don't want to go back.
They like me over here. There was so much that they did with this trailer, like you said, man. So Deadpool is being hired out by the TVA, the Time Variance Authority, to clear up these anomalies. Now, I think we have a good idea, but Caleb, what do you think it is exactly that he's being called to do?
It's interesting, right? Mm-hmm. Because you think it would be something really specific.
Yeah.
And Logan gets involved. Also, I hate to answer your question with a question, but do you think there's something to the fact that they never show Hugh Jackman? Like, actually show him?
I thought about that. And the only thing I can say is, and this is so fucking semantic-y, but this is technically a teaser, even though it's 2.5 minutes.
Right.
And maybe they're saving him for the actual trailer drop.
Maybe so. I mean, his presence is definitely felt.
Oh, yeah.
So I got to wonder if, I feel like there's a couple different possibilities, right? Mm-hmm. One of them could be like, that there's like there could be a situation where there's like a rogue Wolverine out there. Ooh, We've seen multiple Wolverines, and maybe he gets tasked to like hunt the thing down, gets his ass kicked, and so then he goes to get like the Logan of his universe.
Yeah.
I'm up for that if it's done right, but that just happened in Logan.
Yeah, it did.
So I think it's got to be something more serious than that, or at least more spectacular than that. Mm-hmm. But I really, I'm kind of at a loss for what it could be, man, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because they don't give us a whole lot.
They don't. Would you be fine if it's something as silly as him being tasked to basically kill all the Fox characters?
Just prune all the Fox characters?
Yeah.
Like they do like a version of like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe?
Yes, yeah.
Deadpool kills the 20th Century Fox Universe. Well, they do have the giant logo.
Sign, yeah.
But also, though, they show that scene where it's clearly the battlefield from the beginning of Age of Ultron.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
You know, the snow, the like where he's got the guns and everything. Mm-hmm. That's very clearly the battlefield from the early Age of Ultron. There's no way it looks that similar. What was that? The Baron.
Strucker.
Yeah, outside of Strucker's compound or whatever.
Yeah.
There's no way that was just coincidence, right? It looked like they filmed it in the exact same spot, you know?
That's interesting. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So, what if it's more complex than that? What if he's got to, like, kill everybody that exists in both universes?
Oh, so that's the kill.
So he went there to kill Quicksilver.
Oh, that's dark because that Quicksilver had like a little sister version of
right.
Scarlet
Also,
Witch.
that Quicksilver was going to die in a couple days. Why would you go there and kill him there?
I'm trying to remember what happened. Why was he going to die in a couple days?
Because fucking Ultron kills him at the end of that movie.
Oh, you're talking about the one in
in Age of Ultron. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, that don't make any. Just wait.
Yeah, it's only a few days. Yeah. So I don't know, man, but he's definitely there for a reason. There's gonna be something there's gonna be some heavy MCU tie-in into this.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, like, so we know that we get the big Deadpool and Wolverine fight. Now, besides the obvious reasons of it's Deadpool and Wolverine, and we need to see them fight.
Right.
It's like, why are they fighting? Because we know that, yes, Wade is extremely annoying, and Wolverine can decapitate this guy without killing him,
Yeah.
But this fight seems so much more, I don't know, it seems like it's more intentional, more visceral, more, I don't know. So I'm trying to figure out exactly why would they be fighting in the beginning. We know that they're not going to continue fighting.
Right.
But it just has me wondering, I wonder what's the deal there, and then what causes the resolution.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, man. It's going to be... It's interesting to speculate about, and I'm very interested to see what happens and like what they reveal in this second trailer. Or the first trailer. So this is the teaser.
Right.
Man, I'll be honest with you, though. I almost want to do my thing and, like, not watch anything else.
That might be the best. It's going to be so hard with this movie, though, because as soon as anything drops...
It'll be everywhere.
Everywhere.
I mean, it's already everywhere.
Yeah.
There's already memes and shit from the first trailer.
Right. You sent me one earlier. That was quick as hell.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's already, like, people zooming in on the Secret Wars cover. Mm-hmm. They know which cover it is. It was like a little page in the sand.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's the Age of Ultron fight outside the Strucker compound. There's already people who have lined up the shots, Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
And I got to say, the action... What little bit we got looked fucking incredible.
Top notch.
Yeah.
Top notch action.
Most watched trailer, by the way.
Really?
It hit over 360 million views within 24 hours.
That's incredible.
It's the most watched trailer for anything ever.
And I must have watched it 10% of that.
I mean, it's like we said before. This movie is going to be a hit, right? It's a fucking grand slam. It doesn't matter, right? It could be bad. No one's going to care.
Yeah.
It's got Ryan Reynolds in it. He's going to be doing his thing. Mm-hmm. If he's anything like he is in this teaser, people will walk out happy.
Yep.
Hugh Jackman's going to be in it. There's going to be something for everybody. Mm-hmm. The tickets for this is going to be like trying to get No Way Home tickets.
Yeah.
Like,
we got to be on it.
We got to be on it, doggone it. Like, the tickets for this are going to fly off the shelves. If you do not get them the second they release, you can be sitting in row G fucking 37 or whatever.
Right. Speaking of which, get your tickets from Madam Web.
No one else has. Just us.
Review be up tomorrow. Okay, there were some interesting scenes that we get in here in this trailer. one of the ones that I noticed in my first watch through was that of Wolverine's one of his alternate identities, Patch. That's when we see Deadpool walking or somebody walking forward in like a casino type place, and there's a person there in a white jacket,
Right.
White suit jacket. You know, a lot of you guys may be familiar with the old school alternate identity of Wolverine, where he went by the name Patch, where he was dressed up in almost like a James Bond-esque tuxedo. He had an eye patch on, and that's when he hung out in Madripoor. Madripoor, which we also have been in the MCU and Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right.
So it looks like, for whatever reason, Deadpool is going to Madripoor in some part of the multiverse, and he's going to encounter Patch there, this version of Wolverine. I think that that's a cool kind of wink and nod. I mean, yeah, if for me, like, that shit was undeniable. Like, once I saw it, I knew it had to be him, and they also did a good job of keeping the face covered so you couldn't see. You just see like the hair with the suit jacket. I thought that was pretty darn clever.
Yeah. But he didn't have an eye patch on, at least not a wraparound.
It didn't look like it. No,
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
But he could have had like the little, just a stick on kind.
That's true. Yeah.
Where you can't see it all.
The interesting thing, and this is theory crafting to the fucking moon. Not even theory crafting, just more of a did you know. But like, Patch is known for hanging out with Grey Hulk. And, you know, a version of the Hulk that's smaller, not as strong as Green Hulk, but more intelligent, you know. And, I mean, again, that's one of those things where, like, I don't know if we ever get the opportunity to see those two on screen, but I wouldn't mind seeing just like a 5-second shot of Hulk and Wolverine on screen at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. So, there's some of the shots that they've lined up.
Wow.
From that opening. Yeah, I mean, it can't be just coincidence.
That does look dead on.
It's not.
But then you have to wonder, what's he doing there?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking at the Strucker compound stuff that I mentioned earlier. So,
is it because, like, Strucker had, like, no plot?
Yeah, right, yeah. It's definitely something.
Yeah.
Well, they could involve Scarlet Witch in it, right? Like, they could. This could be the way that they bring her back.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a situation where, like, they lost this universe's Scarlet Witch. They send him to go find like a one that's like close in power or something.
Boy, that's what we call a dummy mission. It's when someone sends you to get your cheeks clapped.
Yeah. Don't explain your power set to her and you should be fine.
Right.
Me and my friend here can heal forever.
Forever.
She's just gonna scatter you across the fucking galaxy so you can
right.
suffer as atoms.
Yeah. Holy shit. There's also been speculation, and kudos to the internet. I did not catch this, but other sleuths out there did. They speculate that Lady Deadpool will be in this movie.
Interesting.
And it's based off of one shot, and again, kudos to them because I didn't catch it, but there's a shot of Deadpool shooting some of his guns, and it's just on his hands. And I'm like, you cannot tell by those hands that those are, male or female hands.
Right.
But they picked up on something that I didn't, that is the guns he was shooting. Deadpool does normally use more like Glock-type guns, whereas Lady Deadpool uses those signature hand Uzis. And those were hand Uzis.
They were.
Yeah. And where the speculation gets crazy is people are wondering if Blake Lively will portray Lady Deadpool.
It would be hilarious.
It would be. Yeah.
As long as it doesn't go on like the whole movie.
Yeah, you got to do that. Like that's got to be like a 30-second gag.
So, what's the over/under? Do you think we get a Tom Holland in this at all?
That is so tough, man. I want to say yes because they can make it make sense. You know? Oh, here's the thing: it may not even be Tom. It may be one of the other ones. To be honest,
oh yeah,
it could very well be. I can see it being Toby.
Yeah,
especially if those Secret Wars rumors are true. You know.
Very true. Yeah. I mean, hell, it could be Toby. It could be Andrew Garfield, or shit. I mean, we're going full multiverse here. It could be Miles.
It could be Miles. Except I'll say this a little bit. There was another comic news later wanted to talk on here, but Amy Pascal says that she is preparing to roll out a live action Miles Morales movie. I'll expound more on that in a little bit. We can. And I was gonna say I don't know if Amy, because I mean we've read about kind of her temperament on these things. I don't know if she would be willing to let Miles debut in an MCU movie first, but they did that with Peter back in Civil War. So
that's true. You know, on that note, Donald Glover did confirm that if they come out with a live action Miles movie, he probably will be the Prowler. So.
Oh yes, yeah. And again, Marvel, like this is another opportunity that you guys dropped. I'll do it for half the price. You know,
the Prowler or Miles?
Either or.
We're a little old for Miles.
Originally, I was talking about the Prowler anyway.
Okay,
but if either one was on the table,
I think you just need to hold out for that Final Fantasy live action, and so you can play Barrett.
I mean, that's my Oscar-winning role. But everyone else needs they can't just have one role.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I mean, you don't see me shitting on your dreams over there.
That's true. Yeah. I feel like you probably have before.
I mean, you're thinking about the wrong part.
I see.
Yeah.
Do we got anything else on this item? The item of the year. This movie's gonna make bukus, but it's like we said, man. This is gonna be a slam dunk. It's what you do with it. Mm-hmm. Use this movie to make us interested in the next thing.
Yeah, exactly. How do you follow up? What are you gonna do in this movie to get us excited for what's to come?
Yeah, are we not gonna see Wade Wilson again until like a small Secret Wars appearance, and then what?
And that's going to be the trickiest part, right? About just using Deadpool in general in the MCU is, obviously you want to keep things as PG-13 as possible, but with Deadpool in it, he's going to use your one F-bomb that you're allowed in PG-13 movies
every time.
Yeah,
every time.
Yeah. I mean, hell, they've already broken that barrier with Guardians 3, so,
Yeah, I mean, they got it out of the way.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think this movie's going to be great. I am so looking forward to this. And as soon as tickets go on sale, and homies, this goes for you guys, too. You got to be on it.
Oh, I'm probably going to pick up like 8 tickets.
Oh, hell yeah.
Immediately, because I know I can fill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess to answer your question about Peter being in it in some variety. I will say yes, but I think it'd be Toby. If I had to guess a Peter or a Spider-Man, I would say Toby might be in it. Any other cameos you expect to see and or want to see?
I mean, obviously you have all the X-Men, right? Mm-hmm. So
I'm going to go ahead and throw Daredevil in there as well.
Okay. I think a Daredevil is very likely.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of.
Oh, not to cut you off. Have you heard the rumors about potentially Ben Affleck's Daredevil being in this?
Oh my God. Yeah. I had heard that possible for Secret Wars. So, yeah, I'm not.
I think it's more likely that we see him in like a brief cameo in Deadpool 3 just for the comedic purpose of it all. If he wants to kill like Fan Four Stick, that would be tremendous.
That would be amazing.
Oh, that'd be the only time that I pop for those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think I definitely think that like a Michael B. Jordan
and Chris Evans.
Oh God. Yes. If we get a Chris Evans as
Human Torch.
Human Torch, man, that would be incredible. Yeah, I think any of that stuff's on the table for sure. There's rumors that we're gonna get is it Live Schreiber? Leave Schreiber?
Oh, it's Sabretooth.
That's Sabretooth.
Oh, yeah.
Sabretooth. So the rumor is that he was spotted on set. So.
Oh. That would be cool as hell. He was supposed to be in Logan, so maybe this is them making up for that.
I gotta say, man, like, there's nothing they can't do with this. Right. You know, other than like fucking Batman showing up.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing that they can't do. I mean, they could put Star-Lord in this. He's on Earth.
They could put Nick Cage's Ghost Rider in this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love that.
It would be the second best Nick Cage cameo of the last year or so.
Okay, listen, the Giant Spider is hard to fucking top.
That's true, yeah.
All right, but, still.
I think that that would be nuts, man, if we got any of that stuff. We could get some of the old, any of the old Fantastic Four cast in there.
Oh, yeah.
I would pop for Michael Chiklis' return.
Oh, man.
As the thing.
Yeah. And they probably have to see Jim because he's probably like, fuck that prosthetic.
Yeah. That's true, yeah.
Or just get a still of him sitting down so he can just be,
Man, seeing him in Winning Time pretty recently, he plays like a pretty old man, like late 60s, and I'm just like, come on.
Right,
Don't do this to me.
I know. It sucks to have to get old. It was like they're seeing RDJ and Oppenheimer,
Yeah.
It was like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
It's not Iron Man. Come on.
I just hope that they don't do. There's two cameos I don't want to fucking see ever. I don't want to see RDJ as Tony Stark, and I don't want to see Chris Evans as Captain America. I don't want either one of those. Do not.
Is there a reason?
Yeah, because the only time I want to see Chris Evans as Captain America ever again is Hydra Cat.
Yeah.
That's it. As the villain in a Anthony Mackie Captain America movie. That is a fucking license to print cash. I think RDJ as Iron Man should never, ever happen. The only way I'd be okay with it is if they do some multiverse shenanigans and, like, maybe there's, like, a version of him from a different world in, like, maybe Secret Wars, and, like, Peter comes across him. And, like, they have a moment.
Oh, man.
That would be acceptable.
Yeah.
But other than that, man, I don't see that shit.
I have nothing to back this up. I just have a feeling that Marvel's going to try to get them both for Secret Wars.
I would pop for Tom Cruise Iron Man.
Yes. He would make a perfect superior Iron Man, like the evil version of Tony. Like,
oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. But, that's kind of all I have right now in the Deadpool 3 trailer.
Agreed.
Looks fucking great. Can't wait to see what the... I guess one more question. If Cassandra Nova is not the villain, and I'm just way off the marker, who do you think the villain is?
I don't know, man, but I want a Mega Red.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Like a boss.
Yes.
I want a Mega Red, but we're not going to get that, I don't think.
Yeah. That seems like a little... to get the whole TVA involved on it, Yeah,
like, what the fuck is a Mega Red doing? And we had to get the entirety of the TVA. Jesus Christ.
Right.
I don't know, man. I hope that they do not... So one thing that they could do, they could redeem Onslaught.
Oh, they could,
because it's such a good idea.
It is. It's a great idea.
It's just it was just executed terribly.
It's a shitty book,
and that's definitely worth getting the fucking TVA.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Call everybody you can. Get Nick Fury on the phone.
Right. Oh my. Or fucking hell. Like, what if what if they incarnate their version of like Visiontron?
Oh God, I think they have a better chance against Visiontron. Because I don't know what those two are gonna do against Onslaught.
Yeah, that is also true.
They're gonna get fucking murdered. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Yeah. Like for real.
Right.
They're gonna delete your brain.
Just gonna save scum like Doctor Strange did against Dormammu.
Yeah. What was it that Wade used to time travel?
Oh shit! I'm trying to remember.
Was it like a clock of some kind or a watch or something? I know they led into it in the second movie.
Yeah, that's right. I forget what it was though.
Watch, they're gonna do a gag about that. He's gonna like crack it open and there's gonna be a time stone in there.
Yeah, man. There's so much they can do with this movie, and I'm beyond hyped for it. So,
what if one more thing before we go? Do you think there will be a Thanos cameo, or do you think that's too sacred? Is that number 3 on the list of never should see them ever again?
I say yes.
Yeah.
And never see them again. Yeah. And also just because it's like, I don't think this movie needs a Thanos cameo.
Now, what they could do is they could have the silhouette and the voice, and then he turns around and it's Cable. That would be awesome.
That would be fucking money.
Because we all sit up in the theater.
Right. And then it's Cable.
It's Cable. Oh, God. It's just fucking Cable.
Oh, yes. Did we mention Colossus? Obviously, he's going to be in here again, you know?
Yeah, man. Am I the only one who fucking doesn't like the CG Colossus?
So here's the thing, right? Like,
I like the first 3 Colossus.
Well, I like the Deadpool Colossus because he gets stuff to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I like his look. Like, that's the only version of Colossus that could face like that version of Juggernaut. You know what I mean?
But they do have it both ways in the comics, right? Like, isn't there one that just is like that all the time, and then there's one that can turn like that?
As far as I'm concerned, like he can always turn that shit on or off.
Oh, just the Deadpool one never does.
He never, because what the fuck would he look? He would look monstrous.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah. This giant fake CG man, that'd be terrifying. That shit would be awful. Because I think Deadpool even made a joke about it, about like why he's always like in metal form,
like all the time. Yeah. Well, folks, that's the main event.
That's the main event.
But we do have some other items.
We do. We knew you guys wanted the Deadpool stuff. I mean,
there was no reason for us to sit here and milk it for an hour and then talk about it.
Yeah, we're not going to blue ball you guys like that. There are a few other a few other things I wanted to speak on here. We'll do a little bit of DCU news. So I was not aware of this until recently, maybe because I've been hiding under a rock. But the Creature Commandos TV show actually comes out this year. Frank Grillo recently confirmed that it should be coming out late summer or early fall of this year.
What if the DCU cleans up at the Homie Awards with just that show?
I mean, the Homies Award is going to be interesting this year just because, I mean, Deadpool 3 is probably going to clean up.
Yeah, it's going to Guardians.
Right. Yeah, so that'd be interesting there. I mean, Creature Commandos, I mean, it's very much akin to the Suicide Squad. Amanda Waller gets together a group of monsters to go out there and do the shit that needs to be done.
Is that going to be animated?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, animated show is going to be coming on Max sometime late summer or early fall. Frank Grillo is actually voicing Rick Flag Sr., so the father of Joe Kinnaman's character in the Suicide Squad movie. David Harbour is voicing Frankenstein. And I don't have the rest.
That's a good cast.
It is a good cast, yeah. I don't have the rest of the cast pulled up here, but I think it'd be interesting because this is right up James Gunn's alley, and he wrote all 7 episodes.
Did you hear that they may not even have the go-ahead to make the Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2 and 3?
What?
Yeah, like it's possible. Like they haven't done it all yet. And like it's possible. I was reading an article the other day where apparently they, when they did the Justice League War all the way to Apocalypse War, that whole fucking thing, apparently they went to like I guess whoever's in charge of that wing of DC and got like the okay to do that whole like animated universe in one shot. And then it was like 20 movies.
Yeah.
And then they tried to get another 20 for whatever this fucking abomination is. And they were like, you can get 7, and then if they do really well, you can get 9. And apparently they made Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 without having the, like, 100% green light to actually even do 2 and 3.
Fucking dumb. Oh my gosh.
And I gotta wonder when Creature Commando is coming out, if those movies aren't out before that comes out, they've got to scrap them, right?
Because this is part of Gods and Monsters or whatever that phase is called. Like that's the kickoff. So everything else may just go to the wayside.
And it should, man.
I think so. I mean,
the fall off in quality,
it's insane, right? Because like that period where they covered like. New 52 or DC Rebirth, like that area from, like you said,
from Justice League War
to Apocalypse War. I love that stretch of movies.
That to me is the best thing off the page that DC's ever done.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I liked it better than all their live action shit. I mean, obviously you're not including the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic stretch of movies.
Yeah.
And
it's the closest to a cohesive universe that they've ever had off the page.
Yeah. And I mean, it worked well. They stuck very close to the source material and all of that shit. And so they just had an easy fucking blueprint to follow. But after that, that's when shit started to get real fucking weird for the DC animated universe.
They started doing like adaptations that weren't part of it, and then some things that were part of it. And then to the point when we were in Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 1 came out, I was talking to my boy JJ. Shout out to JJ.
What?
And he's like, yeah, you got to watch these other 6 movies though. And I didn't even know they were doing continuity anymore. I had no idea.
Me either.
Yeah,
so it's like the Wonder Woman movie and whatever else they did.
I don't want to misspeak, so let's see.
Because I remember Injustice came out, and that was fucking ass. And that hurt my feelings because I actually really enjoyed that comic book series. But that animated movie was rushed, it was crammed, and it was just low quality.
Yeah. So you talking about Part 1
of
you talking about the?
Yeah, I was just talking about Injustice there.
Yeah, so this is supposedly the Tomorrowverse, is what they're calling it, and it's apparently they're doing that because it's based off of, I guess the, is that Superman Man of Tomorrow?
Oh yeah.
Is that what they're calling it? That
I suppose so.
And I mean, I like Jensen Ackles' Batman. I think, I'm a fan of that. If we're just trying to come up with positive things we can say. Oh yeah, okay. So the Superman Man of Tomorrow was the first movie. That was followed by Justice Society World War II, Batman Long Halloween, Green Lantern Beware My Power, Legion of Superheroes, and Justice League War World. And then the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, assuming they do the whole trilogy, is what finishes it off. And I was like, I didn't even know they were doing that shit. But they were also releasing other movies that weren't
part of it. What the fuck?
What's that Superman anime that everyone really loves though?
I almost said My Pal Jimmy Olsen, but that's not it. Something that's completely.
It's
like my Pal Superman.
Is it My Pal Superman? Something like that? I have not watched that yet, admittedly, but I hear nothing but great things about it.
Yeah, same. I was probably gonna watch that and have Dylan on for that. He's an anime guy.
He's the anime guy.
He's the anime guy. Yeah, Dylan, this is anime. This is anime properly.
Apparently, it's very much a anime tone Superman, but I honestly I think that's a smart move.
Yeah,
because so many of the kids these days are into that. Into that format.
Just stay away from Batman Ninja. Have you seen that one?
Yes. Yes. Isn't that where like all the actual bats and shit come out and like Joker's like a fucking samurai or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit was weird.
It was the whole movie is just.
It's an acid
It
trip.
was like Dune 84, you know? The whole movie.
Yeah. Funny enough, I also invited Dylan on to review that one.
For the Batman Ninja?
Yeah.
Have y'all done that yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
I'm sorry, Dylan. He's going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
I might sucker him in first with the Superman stuff, you know, because that should probably be good. But then after that, I'm going to hit him with the, with the Batman Ninja.
I am excited for Gods and Monsters. I'm excited for Creature Commandos. I'm really hyped for all that to kick off.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think, again, if nothing else, I think that Creature Commandos, I think is going to be a really solid project. James Gunn, he excels with ensembles, weirdos, and obscure.
He couldn't have had anything to do with that fucking Suicide Squad game.
I'm glad you bring that up. We can go ahead and talk about that a little bit.
Amanda Waller looks fucking terrible in that.
She does, yeah.
Why would you not make her look either like the animated series version that everybody knows, that's CCH Pounder?
Yep.
Or why would you not...
Viola Davis.
Viola Davis.
Yeah.
Make her look like one of those two. I mean, I would understand going with the animated series version because you likely have to pay Viola Davis
for a likeness. Yeah.
Okay, so you just use the version that you own that doesn't...
Right.
That kind of looks like CCH Pounder, honestly, but not quite.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's the interesting thing, though, right? Because the actress that they got for Amanda Waller, she's also in the new Star Wars game. What's it called?
Oh yeah, she talking about Jedi Survivor.
Yeah, Jedi Survivor.
She plays Seer Junior.
Yeah,
and her character in the game looks exactly like
her.
Seer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is happening? Because I play the cell phone game, and Seer, they actually doing a big Jedi Knight Cal Kestis deal right now. Seer's like a pretty major character in the game right now, and I was just like, the fuck is Seer Junior doing in this fucking game? What?
Yeah. But yeah, the Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. That video game recently came out. I have not reviewed it. I have not spoken about it. I have not played it. And this is the first superhero video game in a long time that I haven't played and or discussed on the podcast. Yeah, so listen, guys, there's a reason for that. I don't support this game. I mean, I can't listen. I stuck with you guys through the Gotham Knights and through the Avengers. I mean, I was there for all of that and everything in between. But listen, I cannot, in good faith, support this game. It is made by Rocksteady in name only. The true spirit of Rocksteady, the guys and girls who really helped make the Batman Arkham trilogy, they are long gone. And what we have left is just a husk. This game doesn't have the gripping story. It doesn't have the captivating motion. It doesn't have any of the pizzazz that made that Arkham trilogy so good. And many people have done this already, but pull up images of Batman Arkham Knight and put it next to this Suicide Squad game, and the game that is 9 years old looks 10 times better than this Suicide Squad game.
Did you see that the Arkham Knight player numbers on every system actually like tripled after that game came out? Because people were buying that game, be like, this fucking sucks, and then they would just go play Arkham Knight. Same thing that happened when Gotham Knights came out.
Yeah.
And Gotham Knights was literally like they just took the scraps off the floor from that game, cut it down to like the bare bones, lowest common denominator, put in some dog shit multiplayer, and then went about their day.
Yep. Gave us a lackluster interpretation of Court of Owls. And
I didn't even get far enough to really get into that.
You know what's crazy? I made it to like I think basically the last level, like right before you, spoiler alert, right before you get the reveal that Bruce is alive. But
which we all knew from the opening teaser trailer.
Yeah. But yeah, from what I've heard, Gotham Knights is actually better than the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, that's what I hear too, and that's awful.
Yeah.
And I couldn't play any. Kudos to you, man, because you were wrecking it on Avengers, and I couldn't even do that shit.
Yeah. You know, I still remember years ago when that game was coming out, sending you a text message about the Avengers game right before it came out, and you said something to the effect, alluded, questioning me basically about, you sure want to buy this game? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get it, but I'm gonna complain about it for 2 hours on the podcast, and that's exactly what I did. It amazes me that like these video game companies think that live service is the future.
Ubisoft just they're in the process of doing it now with Skull and Bones, which is
isn't that out?
The beta is out. I actually played it over the weekend, and it at the very beginning you start to think, oh man, is this Black Flag Online? Because it kind of feels like that.
I wouldn't be mad at it. Is that what it is?
No, I wouldn't. No.
Okay.
No, and then you realize very quickly it's Anthem with boats.
God damn it.
And here's the thing, man. I had like 60 hours in Anthem. Like, I don't want to turn this into the Anthem podcast, but and nobody would listen to that shit. There's only 8 people playing that game. But Anthem, like the minute-to-minute gameplay was some of the best gameplay I've ever... It's definitely the best live service gameplay I've ever played.
Yeah.
It was incredible. It was just everything around that was like a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
I was talking about that the other day with somebody. I was like, yeah, the minute-to-minute gameplay was like a 9 out of 10. But like the technology, 1 out of 10. Skill tree, 1 out of 10. Story, 1 out of 10. Like, the whole experience outside of that was terrible. The loot system was atrociously bad. I mean...
You know, I actually... the homie Kevin, me and him were still roommates when that game came out, and he had pre-ordered it because it looked really good, and he played it for like 2 days, and then he took it back and got something else.
And it was by BioWare. I mean,
it was by BioWare, yeah. But you know, I actually got the game a couple of years after it came out. I got it on sale for like literally $10, and the reason I got it was because that was when BioWare had made the big announcement that they're working on doing this huge update.
And then they got canceled.
Yep. And so, like, to my credit, when I purchased the game, I was like, best case scenario, I'm putting money in the bank to play this really cool game for only $10.
In worst case, $10.
I'm out $10.
And I've spent way more on worse. Yeah, I mean, I think that game was maybe worth $10, you know? But, like, it's tough, man, because, like, as much as I wanted, like, that game to be good, I'd have made the same decision that the Square Enix executives, the EA executives made. I would have been like, let's just cut bait.
Pull the plug, yeah.
And honestly, man, that's going to be Starfield. Like, that game had so many problems that it came out, Anthem did, and then a year later, it was still the same game. And Starfield's going to be the same way. I was talking to somebody the other day, because there's all this rumor about that Xbox is going to put their exclusives and stuff on PS5 after a certain amount of time.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, other than the Bethesda games, I was like, I would do, honestly, for the money, if I was them, I think Sony is real dumb about this. If I was Sony, I would put my exclusives on PC 6 months to the day after they come out on PS5. Because most people either aren't going to buy it on PS5, and the ones that are not going to want to wait 6 months to play it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Put that shit on PC. And if I was Microsoft, everything except the Bethesda stuff, I would put it on PS5 6 months after. Why not get that money?
Yeah.
It's the same thing, man. If somebody really wants it bad enough, they're going to buy Xbox. And if they don't, then they're not going to buy one anyway.
Yeah.
But, the reason I say not the Bethesda games is because in 6 months, they'll still be the same game.
Yeah.
You might as well just wait and buy it somewhere else. Because,
that's true.
You know, like, you just got to keep those Bethesda games on your system forever.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. Like, it's the community. Are they going to fix this? Because from what I hear, they're not.
They're not. No, we've gone so far off the rails here.
Yeah.
But they're not going to fix that shit.
Yeah.
The mod integration, the mod kit isn't even out yet, and they don't even have a release date for it.
Jesus.
So the community really can't fix it. It's sad. It's a sad state of affairs, man.
And not to go too much onto like the video game segment here, but man, I don't even know if the game can be fixed to my liking because it's not like I'll still be able to like do true interstellar travel. It's not like I'll be able to really make proper use of my ship or do exploration properly. I mean, that's some shit that like should have been built into the game directly, you know? That's going to be hard to fucking mod into a game.
It'll take a decade.
Yeah.
10 years from now, you'll be able to install like a giant mod pack of like 800 mods, and I'll get my finally get my first playthrough of Starfield. But on this note, before we move on to like the next actual news item, I do want to say Rebirth is coming out.
Yes.
On the 29th of this month.
That's right.
And we should review that shit.
Oh, absolutely.
So
yeah, I am 100% down for that.
Yeah. Did you want to say something?
I was gonna say I wonder if the homie Oz is gonna get that. He needs a PlayStation.
He don't have a PS5.
Okay.
I told him that he could use mine when I get done playing it.
Yeah.
But there's no telling how long that's gonna be.
That's true.
100 hours. I'm actually just about to finish up my remake playthrough. I think I'm enjoying it a lot more the second playthrough, and I don't know if it's because I'm playing on the PS5 version and it's just all smooth and touched up, and I feel like also like I already know what they like fucked up with the story.
I think it's that part,
and it just doesn't affect me now because I'm like, oh well, they're gonna do this thing, and every time the little whiffs show up, it doesn't make me angry.
Right.
I'm just like, all right, and then I just really have fun with it. I think I'm really enjoying it more now than I did.
What I've been telling myself, and I'm going to do the same thing with part 2, is that we're in the multiverse saga. This is just a multiverse.
Well, and it is, yeah.
I mean, by definition, it has to be, right? So I don't like them calling this a remake. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
Yeah, because it technically it's not. It can't be. There's too much that's different for this to be a remake.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's heavily implied in the first game that this version of Aerith is aware of the other timeline and her ultimate fate. But anyway, this is also not the Final Fantasy podcast. Next news item I had, you posted about this.
Oh, yeah.
So Mark Ruffalo lets out in a Q&A that, I'm in Captain America Brave New World. Yeah, the Hulk's in that shit. And then within like an hour, they came out and they were like, Mr. Ruffalo misspoke at a recent Q&A.
Yes.
Do you think that's really what happened, or is this just another Mark Ruffalo incident of him spilling the beans and then they're walking it back?
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say he spilled the beans. I think he's in it because I think Red Hulk is in it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it makes sense. Like, what are you going to do? Where are you going to get to fight a fucking Hulk? That shield ain't going to do shit against the Hulk. You probably need, like, another Hulk somewhere in there.
Did you see the, that they basically leaked it themselves with the crew's jackets? Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
they have the image of the red hand grabbing the shield.
Right. So, and we can speak on that a little bit, too, just because Captain America 4 has been going through some rough times. Apparently, like, it wasn't testing well. And they went back to the drawing board with a lot of that movie. Because this movie's been in production for a long time now.
Right. And
it seems like Red Hulk is like an addition to the movie that wasn't originally in it. So they took out Seth Rollins.
Thank the fucking maker.
You don't want to hear Seth Rollins in the movie talking like this?
I'll be honest, man, I really don't want to hear Seth Franklin Rollins anywhere doing anything. I'm not a fan. Yeah, I'm good on that. I do want to see Harrison Ford fuck some shit up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to see his rendition of Ross.
Yes.
And, man, like, that's another movie that, like, I know that a lot of people now they're kind of iffy on that and they're iffy on Thunderbolts, but I it's unfortunate for me because I'm already too invested in those movies, and I really want to see them, and I want them to be good, but I don't know what the odds are. But seeing Red Hulk in a movie, I think would be a lot of fun. But the question is, like, to what end? You know, like, why is Red Hulk in this? Because why is Red Hulk needed? Also, because you got to think about it. The reason why Thunderbolt Ross became Red Hulk in the first place, something's got to stop Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
And then,
right.
And he becomes a Hulk. Was it gonna be like, oh, why is this black man Captain America? I gotta stop him.
I almost wonder if it's gonna be a situation where, like, Ross is like after the formula somehow, and they're trying to stop him. But I feel like we've exhausted that well.
I think so too. Yeah.
You know, at this point, they sell that shit in every fucking CVS.
What if he starts off as a good guy though? Like, what if he is presented as like this new Cap isn't cutting it with all the threats of the world that's out there. You know, they need something, and you know, a Hulk that is still intelligent, a Hulk that is still policed, can get the job done or whatever. Maybe they try to go that route.
Is the last time we actually saw Ross in the timeline when he got fucking deleted in Infinity War? Like when he was trying to tell Rhodey to arrest them and he hung up on him?
Yeah.
Because we saw him again in Black Widow, but that was before.
Yeah, that was the last time.
So.
Yeah, I mean, hell, a lot could have happened, you know.
Yeah.
He looks different now, you know. So.
And I think they confirmed... I know they confirmed that Deadpool 3 does take place in 2029 in the MCU.
Okay.
So I would assume that this is going to take place in 2030.
That would make sense. What do you make about the ongoing rumors? These rumors have been going around for about a year now that the aborted giant fucking... Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on
the Celestial Baby.
The Celestial Baby is going to be the island of Genosha and is made of adamantium, or has adamantium embedded in it.
I think it being adamantium makes sense. Because I don't know what kind of truth that has in the comics, but
it's got to come from somewhere.
It being Celestial Body is cool to me. I'm fine with that, you know. It's better than what the fuck they did to... I mean, like, they made up some shit from Mithril in Rings of Power, so... you know, whatever. Yeah. And it was cool. Like, it was bullshit, but they made it up, and I was like...
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, well...
Yeah.
You know, you guys committed a lot of atrocities, but this isn't one of them. So, you know, this could be a similar situation. I'd be fine with that. Having the aborted Celestial Baby be Genosha or whatever, though, that's a little odd.
A little bit. I mean, they're going to have to, like, you know, smooth out some of that terrain and make it more islandy.
Less fetus-y.
Yeah, less fetus-y, yeah.
They gotta pick that fucking thread up, though. You know what I mean?
Bruh, like that's a big ass thread.
Yeah, it's like this fucking giant creature came up out of the earth,
right?
And we're just chilling.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Whatevs.
Yeah.
NBD.
I mean, I kind of get it. You know, they're like, is it attacking us right now?
Yeah, you know, that's true. They probably got enough shit to worry about.
Yeah. How do you think the MCU differentiates adamantium from vibranium?
I think they'll have to give it a like specific color, probably like that kind of blue sheen or whatever on the metal. And I mean, at some point, they are going to have Wolverine attack the shield or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, but what's is there a like canonical of which one is stronger?
So canonically, adamantium is stronger, but vibranium, that's the part of Cap's shield that gives it that reverberation effect. You know, the bounce around. You know, adamantium can't do that, but
the vibranium is more like a magic type thing.
Yeah.
It's got more like properties to it, whereas adamantium is just fucking strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think that's how they go with it.
Yeah.
And, they already gave Vibranium that, like, kind of purple look to it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be interesting for that. Man, we didn't mention Daphne Keane. I for sure think she shows up in the Deadpool 3 movie.
That would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't be all the way surprised if that's the Wolverine that the MCU goes with moving forward.
Ooh.
Wouldn't be all the way surprised. I don't know if that's the right move, but I'm not all the way mad at it, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know that. I'm not all the way mad at it, but I disapprove.
Yeah.
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 Greatly.
I mean, or maybe they do that temporarily until people get used to not having Hugh be Wolverine, and then they bring in another Logan.
Yeah, at some point they are going to have to recast that role. I know they don't want to, but they have gotta, because the character is not going anywhere.
Eventually, Hugh Jackman is going to be old enough to really play Old Man Logan.
Right. Yeah. And he probably will.
Yeah.
Yeah. They can just remake that Bruce Willis movie that Ryan Johnson made. Looper, but good, So.
Oh, shit. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but we can kind of go into it some more here. Yeah, Amy Pascal weigh in on live-action Miles Morales movie. Spider-Man producer Amy Pascal says a live-action Miles Morales movie is coming after, quote-unquote, 2 more movies. So I don't know if that means Spider-Man 4 and 5, or if that means Madam Web and Kraven the Hunter. So I'm not sure exactly what she means by that. But Pascal has reaffirmed that a live-action Miles Morales movie is still in development. When asked for an update on the current status of the movie, Pascal said, "Someday, not until we make 2 more movies." Caleb, what are your thoughts on Amy Pascal and this Miles Morales movie?
Okay, so the only way that I want a Miles Morales movie is if we get a Spider-Man 4 with Tom Holland, and you could like maybe put him in it with no powers, and then he gets his powers in a 5, a Spider-Man 5 with Tom Holland, and by then Tom Holland will probably actually be old enough,
right,
that we could see him mentor Miles. And if they want to kill Tom Holland at the end of that, I'd be all right with it. They really should do it in a 6, though. I think you should get 6.
Yeah.
Because that also gives him room to be in Secret Wars and some of this another Avengers. Because he's just so good.
He is.
And I think he deserves at least 4 more.
And
with one of them being a team up.
It's also the question of if he wants to do that many more. It seems like he's had some reservations in the past about doing that many more.
Well, I mean, this motherfucker got into the bottle.
Yeah.
The Tom Holland alcoholism thing is a thing. So
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think they are pretty demanding on him, but I think he is willing to come back. Doesn't he still have isn't he still under contract for one team up? Like right now, I'm pretty sure he is.
And that's got to be Secret Wars, right?
It's got to be Secret Wars.
Yeah.
So I think if I had my way, he would be in Secret Wars. We get a Spider-Man 4 with him. Maybe you show a Miles in that. Maybe he gets his powers at the very end. They could do a post-credit scene, or you do it at the beginning of a 5. He mentors Miles. I think he gets a 6th movie, and then he dies in that. Maybe that 6th movie, maybe you call it like Peter Parker and Miles Morales or something like that.
Can you believe Miles has been around since I think 2012? For the first time since it's been created, they're finally doing a team up book with those two.
Right.
Like they've been featured in each other's comic book, but they've never had their own team up book.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I would want to see it, and that's how you pass the torch, and people don't get pissed about it. There's going to be that contingent that's just like, oh, they made Spider-Man black, but I don't care about those people at all. They can fuck right off.
Right.
I have no time for that.
Yeah.
Those are the same people that are like, I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl if Taylor Swift is in it.
Jesus
blah,
Christ.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I'm good on that. But for them to do what it sounds like Amy Pascal is going to fucking do and just make a Miles Morales movie. Mm-hmm. No.
Yep.
By the way, we're going to see Madam Web tomorrow.
Yep.
Have you heard that they based the movie in 2003 so that they could put Spider-Man's parents in it?
I have heard that. Yes.
I thought that this movie was just going to be like CW bad. It seems like it might be like we're actually going to harm you bad. We might be encroaching on like some this is a direct like we're shitting on you type thing. This may not be a Venom thing. This may be like a sequel trilogy thing.
Yeah, man. Like, who knows, man? Maybe I'll be eating my words tomorrow.
So just to give you guys a little bit of background on this. So the homie Oz watches the trailer for Madam Web and actually like legitimately likes it.
Yep.
And then was it during it was
the Homies Award?
No. It was me, UK, and Lauren. What were we talking about?
No, that was the end of year wrap up.
Oh yeah. So we did the podcast assembled end of 2023.
Yep.
And Kay mentions to us on that he wants to review Madam Web. And we think that she's trolling him.
Yeah.
And she then reveals that no, he actually really thinks it's a good movie. And I'm like, there's no way you're going to get me to watch that shit. And then I changed my mind and I was like, well, fine, we'll all go watch it. Mm-hmm. Right? So I was talking to Kay about this right before I came over here. And she's still like, I don't think it's going to be that bad. And Oz, the homie Oz, is out of town conveniently. So the three of us are going to go watch it tomorrow. And we never let anyone tell you that we are not dedicated.
Right.
We will be right here around. Actually, we'll probably be done with it by now.
Yeah.
Within 24 hours, we will have a Madam Web review for you.
Yeah. Jeez, I've stayed away from like any like in-depth reviews where like people are talking about it. I've seen some scores though, and like in my doom scrolling, and just say it's about what you expect. It seems. I think that here's the interesting thing. This is going to be one of those reviews where the homies are going to look forward to the review more than the movie. It's going to be one of those.
And I will address this too. Is we talked about this last night. Is Kate was like, I think you guys need a female presence on for this. I think you guys are really hard on like movies that have a female lead. And I was like, that's really not it necessarily. Because like, for instance, like we both really liked Echo at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I didn't hate it ever. I don't know if I liked it.
It's aggressively mediocre.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And honestly, like, I don't hate that.
Yeah.
It's not like I didn't watch it and go, I could have just not watched this. Mm-hmm. But I did watch it and go, that could have been a lot better. Yeah. But like, you liked the first Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And I like the Marvels. Mm-hmm.
It's never, because like, here's the thing, right? Like, at the end of the day, I have an affinity for like all these characters. You know,
we both fucking love Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like you said, it's not about them being women.
Yeah,
it's about
it's not,
like the reason why I get so frustrated sometimes is because I'm like, I really wish that you would treat these minority-led movies with better fucking care.
Yeah, it's not like for example, I think somebody who's had an amazing run is Peggy Carter.
Oh
right?
yeah.
They almost always do right by her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she's got like the best scene in fucking Doctor Strange 2.
Yeah.
That fucking shield kill is fucking amazing. It's probably the most gruesome thing that the MCU has done before Deadpool 3.
Yeah.
You know, up until now. But yeah, I mean, it's really that a lot of times they go, well, we want to have a female lead in this, and a lot of times that's the end of the directive.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And so then these female leads get a script or or the script has a plot that is not well thought out and doesn't do them justice. So yeah, I mean it's not coincidental, but the thing that we have against it is not that there's a female lead. The thing we have against it is the fact that the script shits all over this character that is an incredible character.
You know, listen, for anyone who may have that notion about us, just wait for Craven, and you're gonna hear the same thing. All right,
right? Yeah. Also, I will point out that it was mostly directed at you. 60% of my listeners are women.
Hey, listen, that's fine. You know, my the homies, they know what's up.
I mean, I know what's up.
Yeah.
I don't think that about you.
Yeah.
I as a matter of fact, I think you like more of the female-led properties than I do. You sat through Batwoman, for God's sake.
I did see.
And I'm not willing to do that.
She has an amazing comic book run, and I wish someone at CW had read it.
Yeah, anyone. Even the janitor.
Right, somebody. Yeah, no, so it's never that's almost, you know, like, for example, everyone likes Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Find me 10 people that can say they love Rey. You know,
right.
It's not a woman thing.
I couldn't find you 10 people at Star Wars Celebration. Not this year.
It's never an issue about the gender of the person. It's always about the quality of the movie that's written around them. And if it's not up to par, then I can't use kid gloves and pretend that it's not that bad. Got to be honest about it.
Yeah, I mean, you could, just based on the numbers, you could say the same thing about like a Hispanic-led movie. Yeah. Because we fucking hated Blue Beetle.
Yeah, I was gonna say, are we racist because we didn't like Blue Beetle?
Yeah, and I don't know that Kay was making that, but she was just like, you know, this is clearly like a female ensemble movie. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: we both, I mean, me especially, I love Sydney Sweeney. Like, is she incredibly attractive? Yes, but she's also a great actress.
Yeah,
she's either a great actress or she's really crazy, because those are the only two options for her Euphoria character. Yeah. Like, she is either batshit insane for real, or she's a great actress. Mm-hmm. It can only be one of those two.
And I'll go ahead and give one positive for this movie I haven't seen yet, and that is she looks really good as that OG version of Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
You know?
So,
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a hard costume to fuck up, but she looks good in it, you know?
I saw like a very brief summary of the movie, and they were like, this movie is based in 2003, which is the last time it could have been considered good. And I was like, oh no.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, you know, maybe the critics are just off the mark. And maybe tomorrow we'll come in here all glowy.
That was incredible.
So never doubt our dedication, folks.
Never.
We are going to give you our honest opinion, which is going to be subjective to an extent.
Of course.
As most are.
Yep.
But you're always going to get honesty. You're always going to get exactly how we felt.
Yeah. Every single time.
And the movie may have an agenda, but we don't. Unless the mouse would like to pay us.
I was going to say, you took the words out of my mouth. Unless one of these conglomerates want to start paying us, then we're going to just keep being honest.
Yeah, it don't got to be the mouse.
Yeah.
We'll take your money, James Gunn.
Yeah.
I have a feeling like you're not going to need to give it to us.
You're not going to need it, but yeah.
But it can't hurt.
Right.
It can't hurt your chances.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, Disney, if you want to give us 2 checks, we'll raise your scores and lower theirs.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah.
I got no problem with that.
Yeah, my opinion isn't biased, but it is for sale.
Right. I'll say one more thing going back to the whole Miles Morales live action deal, and that is I don't know what amount of money Marvel would need to pay Sony, but if you want to have a successful Young Avengers movie, you better try to get that motherfucker in it.
Yeah. So, since we're here, who would you cast as Miles?
That's a tough one, man.
Yeah. Because I don't know.
You got to get an unknown, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, because everybody that comes to my mind is too old. Mm-hmm. I know a couple years ago, people were throwing around Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things.
Man,
that motherfucker's like 21 right now.
And he's like a foot taller than Tom Holland.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, you can't use him. I mean, by the time they started principal photography, he'd be 23, you know?
Yeah.
And he doesn't really look young either. You know, he doesn't have that baby face like Tom Holland.
And granted, they could go like the Insomniac video game route, Spider-Man route, where he's a little older there with his origin. He's like in high school, like 17, 16 in those games.
He's still got that. That's the main problem that they're going to have. Mm-hmm. They got to get someone that looks younger than Tom Holland.
That is super tough. Yeah.
How old is Tom Holland?
He's like 26.
Yeah, so
gotta be. Because he was like 18 when
Tom
Civil
Holland
War
is
came out.
27. So let's just say that by the time they film the next Spider-Man movie, he's going to be 30.
Yeah.
They're going to have to get a kid that's like 16.
Yeah.
17.
He's got to be Peter with the 5 o'clock shadow at that point. And I don't know if I can even picture Tom Holland with the 5 o'clock shadow.
I think he can save that for the 5th movie.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
I think he's just going to have a baby face forever. Mm-hmm. I think he's just going to look youngish as fuck forever.
The problem is when they cloned him in the Disney vat, they forgot to hit the setting where he ages.
I see.
Yeah. You got to hit the button.
Or do you think he's like do you think that they just cloned him at the same facility that they got the clone troopers from?
Oh.
And he's going to hit like a certain age and then it's just going to accelerate hard.
It could be it too. Yeah. I don't know. It depends on what the life expectancy is on these clones.
But, like Donald Glover's got a baby face, but not enough to where he can still play Miles at like 40-something.
Right. That would be hilarious, though.
Yeah, just pretend.
And no one ever acknowledges it,
Yeah, it's hard, man. I don't know if I know any actors that are younger than Caleb McLaughlin that would fit the role.
I know. And it's unfortunate, man, because like he's also too old to play Static,
Yeah.
Yeah. That sucks because I know Michael B. Jordan's actually trying to produce that movie, the Static Shock movie.
I actually heard that they might get John Boyega to be attached to that.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be down for it. I'm actually a big fan of him.
Oh yeah, I am too.
Because he'll come on Twitter and say the same shit I'd be saying about the sequel trilogy.
And he was in.
Yeah, he's like, I was there, motherfucker. Yeah, it was bad. They didn't know what they were doing.
Right. Yeah, he don't work for them no more.
Yeah. I don't think he wants to work. I think him and Oscar Isaac are both like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm surprised Oscar went next door, to Marvel.
Well, he did that first. Wasn't Apocalypse first?
Well, that was Fox.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I read an article with him today where he said that if they do more Moon Knight, he wants Midnight Suns involved.
I saw that.
And I was like, okay, I can see that. Maybe not like the exact team from the game.
Yeah, because they just got they got just anyone who they could get.
I could see him and Ghost Rider though.
Oh yeah, him, Ghost Rider, Blade, maybe Wolverine.
Yeah,
that'd be a lot of fun. But again, that's the thing. Like with these ensemble type movies, is that because all these superhero teams have a revolving door. You know what I mean? Like no one stays or goes too long.
Right.
But you need a character who is popular enough to bring people in, but not so popular that they overshadow everything else. For example, had Birds of Prey, had that actually even been a good movie, they still have the issue of Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey. Doesn't really make any sense, first of all. Second of all, she's bigger than the other characters in that.
Hence, they added her fucking name to the subtitle.
Yep.
The ridiculous nonsense subtitle.
Yeah.
Did you rank Blue Beetle under that movie?
No.
Oh, Birds of Prey was at the bottom?
It was Justice League, Birds of Prey, and then Blue Beetle was... Yeah.
That's so sad.
And Blue Beetle was like, I don't know, like 1 or 2 under that, somewhere around there.
Did you see that image that I posted earlier? Where it was like they were showing like all the heroes through the ages, and then
yeah, and then that's the one with Henry Cavill.
Yeah, and like of all the shots of Henry Cavill that exist, they decided to use the fucking Justice League CGI mustache removal that looks nothing like Henry Cavill.
Yeah, I know this has been said before, but it's like the Quiznos rat, like from the commercial with like the human mouth and. Yeah, it's a fucking nightmare.
If Henry Cavill came up and beat the shit out of you, and then they put that thing in the lineup, you'd never pick him out.
No. Like, fuck, officer, he ain't here.
Yeah, he's not here, officer. It's not one of these guys.
Yeah.
Are you sure? Yeah, definitely not these guys. I remember.
Yeah, I definitely remember that one.
Yeah. I definitely remember this horrific fucking thing if it came after me.
Jesus. Let's see. Did I have anything else of note?
I don't think I had anything else. It's gonna be an interesting year for comic news episodes.
Yeah, it is, man. It is. I only had one more small thing, and I mean it's I guess big for comic book readers, but they are releasing a series of omnis later on this year, of omnibuses, for the Marvel versus DC amalgams. Those actually have not been collected in years, and it's been really hard to get physical copies of any kind of those books.
Oh shit!
And the reason why it's been so hard to get any copies of those is because of licensing rights. And because Marvel and DC still don't like to play nice with one another, I am very surprised that those are being printed. For those who don't know what those are, Marvel and DC did a series of comic books together where they kind of had their heroes face off against each other. There's a whole cosmic story that's tied to it about like these two extremely powerful cosmic entities that never noticed each other, but then they did, and once they did, the universes started to converge, and that's how the Marvel and DC characters kind of started to meet up, and they needed to do battle in order to gain supremacy and save their universe. But it was like Batman and Captain America who decided that we should find a way to fucking stop this instead of fighting each other.
Yeah, leave it to them.
Yeah. It ended up with the amalgamation universe, and that was interesting. And that's when we got these characters fused together to make new characters. The most famous one is probably Darkclaw, which is Wolverine and Batman fused together.
Yeah.
There was the Jackal, which was Sabretooth and Joker fused together. And there are a bunch of others. Captain America and Superman. And I forget who some of the other ones were, but yeah, so because of licensing rights, they could not print those because who prints those, Marvel or DC, and who gets what kind of split, from those. So again, I'm very surprised that those are being printed as omnis, just because omnis are expensive for these companies to make, hence those price tags. And I think it'll be great. They're supposed to come out in August, actually, according to what I've read, which is really surprising because I haven't heard anything about that until like a couple days ago.
Have you heard anything about how that is going to work business-wise?
I do not know. I was trying to see if I could find out what publishing name is going to be printed under. The only one I have that's close to that is like Batman versus Ninja Turtles. It has DC and IDW on there. IDW is a much smaller company than DC, though. So
I wonder if they'll put a Marvel / DC on the.
they could, but then it's like, Marvel, they get their omnis printed at one place. DC gets their omnis printed at another place, which is why their books feel different.
Yeah.
Even though they're the same dimensions. So I don't know, because whoever does the printing, like, they might want more of the money,
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it like to make it fair, right? It would be like, well, whoever does the printing, their printing cost is covered out of the money, and then you just split whatever the profit is. Well, that's fair, but as we know,
that's assuming that they behave not like children.
Right. But then you're going to have fucking DC that's going to be like, well, Batman is worth more than all your characters, and so we should get this. And they're going to be like, well, Wolverine is worth more than all your characters, and so we get...
They could and should do a doc on the making of that book, because those were legitimate gripes that these creators were having.
Yeah.
Superman should definitely beat the Hulk. Do you know what the Hulk is and what you can... Like, fucking grown men and women arguing about about these comic book characters. Part of me loves it, though.
Yeah, I mean, Super Fight wasn't out back then.
That's true, yeah.
And it is fun to have those discussions sometimes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I don't think it's possible it could sell like hotcakes and we could,
it will.
And they'll go, well, what if we did this again?
We did this again, yeah. Which is what I hope will happen. It'll definitely sell like hotcakes, because there's a reason you don't see it on my shelves. I can't find a copy. And now they're printing it in omnibus format. So
you got to have it.
Yeah, and it's going to go quick.
The thing is, I think in like 20 years, we will see movies of crossovers between them. Because by then, they will just be out of. Maybe not 20, probably 30.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a point where it's just like, they're like, we can't make any more money with these.
Yeah.
And then they're going to do like Superman versus the Hulk or whatever. Right.
Yeah, that would be, that would be so next level, But that is kind of like, is that a good thing, or is that like a last hurrah?
It's a last hurrah. Yeah. Like, that's like whatever the last John Wayne movie was.
Yeah.
For the country or the Western movies. You know? That is when we see that is the death knell of the comic book the superhero movie era. A lot of people think we're already out of it. That's complete bullshit. Yeah. We are in a lull.
Yeah.
The fact that Deadpool trailer is the most watched movie trailer of all time. And I mean, so I was looking at it here earlier, and the top 10 most watched movie trailers of all time, right? Mm-hmm. Deadpool and Wolverine is number 1, 365 million. Let me read you 2 through 10.
Yeah.
No Way Home. The original teaser for Endgame, the final trailer for Endgame, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. That's 1 through 5. Mm-hmm. Number 6, Infinity War teaser. Number 7, Lion King. By the way, Disney owns that too.
Yep.
8, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Jesus, really?
Yeah. Number 9 was It, and number 10 was the final trailer for Infinity War. So, of the top 10...
What's that, 7?
7 of them are superhero films, and all of them are since 2019.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, so, and that's the thing, man. Like, the reason why the Western genre died is because, it was more than it just ran its course, right? It was... Times had changed, things had evolved. What was the action role had evolved, film had evolved.
Yeah.
And those were literally spaghetti westerns because it was so cheap to film in Italy. Yeah. So they would film those, churn them out because they were like the cost compared to like what they were making was nothing,
Right.
So
yeah.
They just kept doing the shit, and then eventually. You can't keep doing that and expecting to get great results. It was destined to die,
Yeah.
But with something that you actually take more care and attention of, and I mean, saying that superhero movies die, that'd be like have rom-coms died,
right?
You know?
They're not gonna.
Yeah,
I mean, they had their day,
right?
And I mean, but Sydney Sweeney just had that big one, anyone but you.
Oh yeah,
or whatever. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they're not as prevalent as they used to be.
Right.
God damn, during the 90s, it was like every weekend.
Oh yeah.
And those movies would take the top spots at the box office. Mm-hmm. But that shit's not happening anymore. I mean, I don't think anyone but you got it at all. I think Mean Girls cleaned up for that whole time frame. Mm-hmm. So, and they're all very lucky. And I'm a huge Mean Girls fan, if you don't know that. They're all very fucking lucky because Dune was originally supposed to be wrecking it.
Oh.
As a matter of fact, originally the Marvels was going to do worse than it did.
Because Dune was supposed to come. Yeah.
Had like 8 weeks of IMAX reserved.
God. So when Dune 2 comes out, do they still have that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. They have quite a run.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we really should have waited to review the 2021 Dune because it's in the GTX right now.
Yeah, had I known that,
Yeah, we could have just went and saw it like as it's meant to be seen.
It's so ironic because like on one of those podcasts that we did for one of the Dune movies, I mentioned, man, like you can really tell like it is just meant to be seen in theater.
Well, and we're gonna go see it in the Mega Theater. So.
That's right. Yeah, you said those tickets aren't on sale yet.
Yeah, they only have the opening night tickets on sale right now, and then we're going like the day after that. So I'm going to keep checking every day because I think the opening night probably already sold out. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll say this and then we're going to wrap up, but I don't think that the superhero genre is in danger of dying. I think that Deadpool 3, as you mentioned, is going to prove that superhero genre is alive and well. People don't have superhero fatigue, they have bad movie fatigue. And as soon as the movies quit being bad, people will come back. Now, the issue is that we cannot take another 2, 3, 4 years of mediocre to bad movies. So if the quality doesn't change, then yes, we will see a sooner than later death of the superhero genre. But if they can churn out movies that pique people's interest and that are high in quality and well written, then we'll see this thrive for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, if we say the start of the superhero era, I mean, the Superman movies did really well. But I think most people would consider the zeitgeist of the superhero era to be 89 Batman.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm going to tell you now, like, if you would have come up to me in 97 and been like, how you think those superhero movies are doing? I would have been like, I don't know, man. I don't. And then, we had Nolan come in.
Yep.
And
he definitely revitalized in the way that was needed.
Yeah. And then in the middle of Nolan doing his thing, we got the first Iron Man.
Yep.
So, I mean, this is just another. Right now, we're in kind of this lull era. I'd say from No Way Home to now. Mm-hmm. We're in kind of this lull, and actually, I would say from Endgame till now because No Way Home was just the tentpole.
Yeah, yeah, there were some duds between Endgame and No Way Home.
And where we're at right now, if Marvel doesn't want to do what you just described, then fucking James Gunn is gonna.
Yeah,
and this is really we've talked about this a lot. If the pendulum is gonna swing, this is where it will happen.
Yep.
If Superman Legacy comes out and they actually can find a way to make a Superman movie that like the general audiences really like cling to, I'm telling you, man, if they can get that one right,
they're in business.
Look out.
Oh yeah.
Kevin Feige will need to fire a lot more people.
Yeah. And I know how you feel about this character, but I think that the real winner is going to be the Batman and Robin movie.
Well, it's not that I feel negatively about Robin, and don't get me wrong, I fucking hate Damian. But if you look at the DC animated movies, while I don't like Damian, I love those movies.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I'm supposed to like Damian.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like, yeah, I don't like Damian, but it's not the get off of my screen hate. It's the listen here, you little piece of shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, while I don't like him as a character, I do think that story, if told well, could be incredible. Am I pissed that like Batman Forever is going to be the best fucking Dick Grayson that we ever get? Yes.
They got to do something with Nightwing. They got to. I think, yeah.
But there's no Nightwing if you don't show him being Robin. You just miss out on all of that.
They may have to, man. I mean, if they're just going to go straight to Damian, you
and that's
have
tragic
to.
as fuck.
I know. I mean, flashbacks, I think we're going to get a form of Red Hood sometime in the next 5 to 10 years. And if that's the case, it's got to be done in flashback,
Do you get Jensen Ackles for the live action?
As Batman?
No.
As
Red Hood.
As Red Hood? No.
It's too late?
Yeah, it's too late.
He still look kind of...
He does, but you know what? He looks much better as a Batman than as a Red Hood currently.
I'm going to be honest, and I hope at 2 hours and whatever minutes that there's no Supernatural fans watching this. I don't think Jensen Ackles has the acting chops to be Bruce Wayne.
Ooh.
And let me preface that. I like Jensen Ackles. I like Jason Momoa, but I don't think he can play Bruce Wayne. He could barely play fucking Arthur Curry. I like Stephen Amell, but I don't think he's about to be good in this Suits spinoff.
Oh, yeah, he is in that, isn't he?
Yeah, he's going to be like the lead, I guess, for Suits LA. I'm going to tell you, I have no good vibes about this. Like, I like Stephen Amell.
Yeah.
I really do. But he's no Gabriel Mott. Like, he doesn't have the charisma. They got to put him with, like, a super charismatic co-star.
Man. So, I never really thought about his capacity. Speaking of Jensen Ackles, like, I never really thought about his capacity to play Bruce Wayne, but now you got me thinking.
I don't
see
it.
That's the problem I have with, like, Alan Richardson. People have been fan casting him as Batman for like the past couple months. The guy from Reacher, fucking. I mean,
you mean the guy from Blue Mountain State?
He is, yes. No, I'll do you one better. The guy from Titans.
I'll do you one better. The original live action Aquaman. Yeah, I'll do you one better. From Smallville. I liked him as Arthur. I mean, for what it was.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing CW's ever done.
Yeah, well,
it's not in the top 100 worst things.
Come on.
If that's the bar.
Yeah. I'm mad every day that shit is still going on. It's about that, though.
Well, they sold it.
To Zaslav and them and gang? To who?
I don't know who they sold it to.
Oh.
But they're getting ready to put something on there. Is it wrestling? Is it?
Oh yeah,
SmackDown going to CW?
Yeah, I think SmackDown is.
Yeah. They're trying to position it more towards a sports network than they are whatever the fuck
teen drama. yeah, teeny bop place. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, rest in peace, CW superhero DC. We hardly knew you. It was.
Jesus Christ. Man.
Yeah. It's been interesting 20 years.
Yeah, Stephen Amell is just going to go up to, like, the defendant or whatever and be like, you have failed this city, and then, like, shoot him.
Yeah, right.
And then, like, they're just going to roll credits. And that's going to be, like, every episode.
One more thing. This is just, like, an interesting rumor. Did you hear that they did actually approach Charlie Hunnam to play Green Arrow in the DC movie?
I think he said that in an interview.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess for whatever reason, he turned it down.
I just don't see that one, man. You know,
you don't see him as Green Arrow.
No, not.
Or you don't see him turning it down.
Well, no, I could see him turning it down. I just don't. When I pictured Hal Jordan, that's just not what I.
No, Green Arrow, not Green Lantern.
Oh fuck! Yeah. For some reason, I thought you said Green Lantern. No, yeah, he could totally be Oliver.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you just get Stephen Amell? Like, Stephen Amell is a great Oliver. Mm-hmm. I mean, say what you want about how that show went, but like the initial casting was quite good.
Here's the issue I had was that like I wasn't mad at his performance. I was mad at how the character was written because they just did Batman without having the rights for Batman.
Correct.
You know, and I'm like they took away all the charm and charisma of Green Arrow, and I'm like, and that's the thing. Like when you say that you don't know if you know Stephen Amell is capable of playing the lead in Suits, and I'm like, that may be the case, but also the way that Oliver was written was just to be so stoic and serious instead of more of the lighthearted or jovial, jokey nature of Oliver. So we never got to see what he could do with that version.
Well, he definitely didn't do anything with it in Heels either.
Okay, well,
yeah,
you got me there.
Yeah, I mean, I just the reason that Suits is so good is not only because the writing is good, but it's the ensemble cast and how well their chemistry plays with each other.
Right.
That lightning in the bottle of that cast. There's a reason that everyone's trying to get them now.
Is it Netflix? Is it going to be on Netflix?
No. So USA is where it originally aired.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming Suits LA is going to be on USA. They would be a fool not to get it on Netflix for syndication like shortly after though. Like maybe like they do half a season. You know, like CW used to do with was it Netflix? CW did it with Netflix. They would do the first half of the season on CW.
Oh yeah.
And then right before after the Christmas break when they do the second half, they put the first half on Netflix.
Yep.
I think you do something like that with it because I mean that's where the fan base is at.
Yeah.
With Netflix, who knows what the fuck Netflix is going to do now?
Yeah, right. I mean, that WWE deal caught me off guard.
Yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of Talking Heads. Nobody called that shit. And I could sit here until I'm fucking blue in the face and tell you that I called it, but I'd be lying out my ass. No one called that.
Yeah, no.
And it's a brilliant deal. Mm-hmm. It's going to be really interesting to see like where Netflix goes because like it's Netflix owns a lot of different properties, so many different varied properties. Who was it that they bought all their stuff? The dude that did Kick Ass and all that.
Oh, like Johnny Knoxville and
no, it was the guy that. Let's see. I know we just.
Oh, the guy that produced it.
No, it was the guy that like wrote all that stuff originally. Hold on, we're getting there. Mark Miller.
Okay.
They bought all of like Mark Miller's original stuff.
Oh, you said Kick Out. I don't know what. I thought you said Jackass.
No, I said Kick Ass.
Okay, that makes way more sense. I was like,
Johnny Knoxville wasn't in there. I was just going to ignore that.
Yeah, I was like, Mark Miller wrote Jackass?
No. All of Mark Miller's original stuff.
Yeah, the Millerverse is all on there, yeah.
They own all that.
Yeah.
So there's more that they could do with that. They still have like a bunch of rights to all kind of things. They're going to spin Stranger Things off. I'm telling you, man, like, Netflix is not fucking around with the streaming thing. Like, they are the streaming king. And I think they're going to be that for a long time because a lot of different places are now starting to realize that there's more money in licensing out your content than there is in hosting a streaming net service.
Yeah.
And Disney's never going to do away with theirs.
Yeah.
And I would say that unless they get bought again, like HBO and them are not going to do away with theirs. Or Max.
Yeah, I can't see Max merging with something else again. Like,
wasn't there talks of like Paramount or something, them merging with Paramount or something?
Really?
Yeah. I know they were talking about that it was possible they could get bought out by Paramount.
At what point, I mean, I know the joke's been made until it's ran to the dirt, but at what point then will these streaming services be the same as fucking cable?
Right.
Premium cable.
I think it's at one point. I think I think Netflix and Disney Plus, those aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I could see I could see us having only 3 eventually.
Well, what about Amazon?
Yeah, well, Prime's not going anywhere either.
Yeah.
Unless Prime buys all the other ones.
That's true.
Because they can just write a check.
Yeah. Yeah.
Prime is I will tell you too, as much as I hate some of the shit Amazon Prime has done, they have been going out and grabbing these little like niche things, like them picking up Has Been Hotel and Hell of a Boss. That is a YouTube thing that was like a completely original work that was put together with fucking, popsicle sticks and duct tape. And Amazon was just like, here's a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
They got Keith David.
Oh, hell yeah.
I heard the voice and I was like, that's the president. That they're taking these little like kind of niche things that don't cost them a lot of money, that have these really like big audiences, and they're bringing them into their ecosystem with it. And I think that's a really smart way to go about it, because like they're funding things that nobody else would fund. And like I know Hasbin has made a bunch of money for them. I actually just got done watching that today. I don't know if that's like everybody's cup of tea, like a hard R-rated musical in hell, but I mean it's not a musical. There's musical numbers in it.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids watch it. So
I think that like for these streaming services, like it's so important to like have not just have your tent poles, but have like tent poles in like each genre. You know what I mean?
right.
So like for example, Amazon, like they got their tent pole superhero shit.
They do.
And for the people who are superhero fans, they're gonna go there if nothing else for Invincible, for The Boys. So they got that. Even Netflix, with Umbrella Academy and with the entire Millerverse catalog is fucking nuts.
Let's not forget Amazon's deal with Critical Role.
Oh yeah, Vox Machina, and then the Mighty Nine.
Yeah,
I mean all that. Yeah, and right now D&D is harder than it's ever been.
Yeah,
so that's extremely intelligent.
And they're about to use that to launch one D&D. Like they're not slowing down. On any front on that. So I think Amazon's being very smart. They're spending a lot of money. I don't know how much. Like I don't know what the numbers are as far as like how much money they're making, but I don't know that Jeff Bezos gives a shit. I think he just wants to have a cool streaming network.
Yeah.
The thing about Netflix to me, here's the thing, Amazon Prime, I have it, but I have that shit for the shipping.
Yeah.
I think most people have it for the shipping. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, well, I would never drop this.
Yeah.
Because I want my damn shipping. And then now it's like, I also want to watch my shows.
Yeah.
The thing about Netflix that makes it so damn good, though, as a streaming network, so valuable, there's always something on. I can go on Netflix, and it may be a fucking random movie from the 90s that I haven't watched that in a while.
Yeah.
But there's just always something on. They had that, they recently added that category for like the coming soon, where they're like, hey, we're going to add all this shit next week.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Disney doesn't have that, man.
Yeah. And that is the Disney dilemma.
Yeah.
Is that there's not always a constant stream of something new that's coming in.
And if like you just have it for Star Wars, okay, we throw you a bone every 6 months.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Or if you just have it for Marvel, well, I mean, you done drop that shit if you just have it for Marvel.
Yeah, and it's like, they do have a very extensive, very valued back catalog. Disney does, but man, it's not gonna keep anyone. So they do need to, but that's the issue though, right? Because like when Disney did try to have like a constant stream of new shit, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we want them to have that.
Right. So I don't know what the right move is for them then, because sitting still doesn't do them much good because they losing subscribers, but putting out shit doesn't do them good at a fast pace because that loses them subscribers.
Yeah, I think it's problematic for Disney, man. I don't know how they sustain, because you can't go up on the price if people are already unhappy with the product. I honestly think the way that they're going to have to go is they're going to have to do a lot of what they're doing now. They're going, doing these licensing deals with like Verizon, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, we'll sell you these subscriptions at 40% of the cost, and you include them with your plans. So that's the only reason I have it.
Yeah.
Because I get it through my phone.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that Disney actually has, and they're trying to branch into this a little bit, is Disney's trying to make it feel more like a club, where it's like, oh, you can get discounts on these things, or, if they started doing a thing where like, if you have Disney Plus, like, that gives you like a discount on like tickets to the park, or or different things like that, or even if they could work it out where it's like, oh, you could get like $2 off your movie ticket, or something like that. Disney has the power to do that where the other streaming networks don't, and they've got to lean on that. But the money's got to make sense too. So I'm glad that's not my problem to figure out.
Right,
Bob Iger.
Yeah, but that's Bob Iger's headache.
Yeah,
he can deal with that.
I could give you a start. You could just fire someone that works for you.
It's like, we're not firing Kathleen Kennedy. Stop asking.
Please stop suggesting that to me every 25 minutes. But anyway, folks, we are going to be by this time tomorrow. You will have our Madam Web review.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this good old comic news episode. This has been a blast, though, man. We got a lot of shit covered.
We did.
We did the good and fun before we get to the Madam Webs of it all. And this time tomorrow, guys, we will give you a full explanation as to why Madam Web is not old, nor blind, nor paraplegic. And we'll have all that information titled for you guys in a nice little bow. It'll be a fun adventure, nonetheless. But that is all for now. Homies, one and all, thank you guys again for listening in. We will see you guys again very soon. But until then, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I'm Superhero Homie Caleb.